on the board first. You have it in front of you, but we're going to do one together on the board where we're finding more evidence. So let's follow along on your paper or on the board with our first one, remembering Pearl Harbor. Do you think this is going to be informational or fictional?
Fiction.
Raise your hand, please. What do you think, Xavier?
Informational.
Why do you think it's going to be informational?
To learn more about him.
Okay, well, Pearl Harbor is a place. So we're going to learn more about the place of Pearl Harbor and remembering Pearl Harbor. So follow along as I read. On December 7th, you might notice American flags at half-mast, or only halfway up the flagpole. This commemorates December 7th, 1941, which President Franklin D. Roosevelt called a day that will live in infamy. Pearl Harbor is a naval base on the island of Oahu in Hawaii. In 1941, many members of the Navy were living on base. The base also stored many ships and supplies for the United States Navy. December 7th of that year began as a typical day at Pearl Harbor, but at 7:48 a.m., about 350 Japanese planes attacked the base because the United States had not yet entered World War II. The base was completely surprised by the attack and suffered heavy losses. Over 2,000 Americans died and 181 Navy ships were destroyed. Before the attack, most Americans wanted to stay out of World War II, but the shocking attack on Pearl Harbor changed their minds. The next day, December 8, 1941, the United States joined World War II by declaring war on Japan. Today you can visit Pearl Harbor to remember the Navy sailors who bravely fought that day, especially those who lost their lives. So Pearl Harbor, this is something that's informational. Pearl Harbor happened to be attacked on December 7th, 1941. Now, you notice I ran into a word that I didn't know how to pronounce. Oahu, which is a place in Hawaii. What do you think you should do when you run into a word that you don't know how to pronounce? Xavier?
Circle it.
Okay, you could circle it. What if that was a name? Like here you have the name Franklin D. Roosevelt. We can circle it and say, I don't know it. What else could you do with a name? If you don't know a name, if you're not sure about pronouncing a name, what else could you do? Sarah?
Skip it.
Okay, you could skip it.
And then go on and then...
And go on, because you recognize that that's a name, right? But you're not sure how to say it. So skip it and go on. Lizzie, I need you to pay attention, please. What else could you do if you run into a name that you're not sure about? Kat?
Sound it out.
You could try to sound it out, but names and cities aren't always the easiest to sound out. So could you, like, instead of saying Franklin D. Roosevelt, you could just say president, right?
Yeah.
We all know the word president, and since he's the president, and when it comes to the place in Hawaii, Oahu, we could just recognize that it's in Hawaii. Hawaii, you could probably sound out. So don't focus on a name or a place that you can't necessarily sound out, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Lizzie, I need you to stop playing with crayons, please. So let's do this first one together for finding evidence. Because remember, we're supposed to dig deeper. And what are we supposed to do when we find the evidence? What are we supposed to answer, Xavier?
What it says.
Just what it says, right? Do we color in the whole?
No.
Nope, we don't color in the whole sentence. So let's look at the first one together. So everybody have a blue. Everybody have a blue.
Not yet. Oh my gosh. Can somebody help me? Here, I'll help. I'll help. I can help.
Okay, everybody has a blue, right? We're
Yeah.
going to erase our red marks.
Oh.
So our first question, Sarah, says what?
Who called December 7th a day that will live in infamy?
In infamy.
in infamy.
So who called December 7th a day that will live in infamy? So I'm going to look first for that word infamy. And there it is. There's infamy. Who called December 7th a day that will live in infamy? President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Because I found my key word and then I looked just for his name. President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
And remember, we underlined just that answer.
I haven't.
Okay, let's do the next one together. So everybody needs a yellow.
Yellow.
Lizzie, will you read the next question for us,
What
please?
does it mean for a flag to be at half-mast?
What does it mean for a flag to be at half-mast? So I'm going to look either for the keyword flag or half-mast. Let's see. Flag or half-mast. There's flagpole. Here's half-mast. So what does half-mast mean? It means only halfway up the flagpole. So you would only underline only up the flagpole.
Why did I do that? Because you did it probably.
Victoria, will you read the red question, please?
Where is here
Pearl
Harbor?
Harbor. Where is Pearl Harbor? So I'm going to look for my key word of Pearl Harbor. Now it's a couple places. But I have to be able to answer where it is.
Oh.
Lizzie, did you find it?
Oahu in Hawaii.
Good. So why don't you come up here and mark it on the board? You're right. Ohio in Hawaii. So she only answered that question. Okay, on your own, see if you can find the purple question. Why might you visit Pearl Harbor today? Why might you visit Pearl Harbor today? And I would, again, look for keywords. Pearl Harbor. Why might you visit Pearl Harbor today?
This one.
Xavier, you should have all the crayons, bud.
No. Nothing that comes with purple. Oh. Hiding.
Why might you visit Pearl Harbor today? So I'm going to look up here. See if I can find it.
I can't find it.
There's my keyword today. Anybody find it?
Yeah.
Why you might visit Pearl Harbor today? Kat?
Because they lost their lives.
Who lost their lives?
Here.
See if you can find it on the story. Xavier, did you find it in the story?
Yeah.
What'd you find?
The Navy soldiers were very bravely fought that day.
Fought that day. Good job. Why don't you come and mark it up here, please.
I already did.
Xavier, you might have to go the other way. And Xavier only is underlining what is answering the question? Why might you visit Pearl Harbor today? To remember the Navy sailors who bravely fought that day.
But especially.
Yeah, you can do that too, especially those who lost their lives. Okay, together, I want you to see if you can do green and orange. So Victoria, Kat, and Sarah work together on green and orange, and Xavier and Lizzie work together on green and orange. Remember to agree on green and orange.
Green. How many Americans lost their lives?
Green is how many Americans lost their lives.
I found it.
Okay, good.
And orange is when did the planes arrive at Pearl Harbor. Work together, make sure you all agree.
Do you agree?
Where?
Okay, can I do this one?
Yep.
Yeah.
When did the planes arrive at Pearl Harbor?
When did the planes arrive at
Victoria, make sure you're working with your group.
Harbor?
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
So the orange is when did the planes arrive at Pearl Harbor? Just look at them right now.
About 350.
Oh, I found it. About this Japan planes attack the beaches.
Do you read about that? What?
Look for the keywords 350.
Did you say
That's
it
good,
again?
Xavier. Look for the keywords.
350. Can you say it again? Because
350.
Remember to underline only
Japanese.
the question part.
Japanese planes attack the base.
Remember, Sarah, only when did the planes arrive? You're only answering the question that says when did they arrive. Don't underline everything. That tells the number though. When did they arrive? Is that a time when they arrived?
7:48
Oh, I know it.
p.m.
Yeah. Let me see if I can read this one.
Right there.
There should be a perfect.
Yeah, that's right.
If you need more time, raise your hand. We're all good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Sarah, how many Americans lost their lives?
Over 200.
Not over 200. Read that name again, or that number again.
2,000.
Over 2,000. Okay, Sarah, come up and underline that green. Make sure you only have the over 2,000.
Oh, I put over 2,000 Americans died.
But it asks you how many Americans lost their lives, so you only have to do over 2,000.
Okay.
Only over 2,000. The orange question. When did the planes arrive at Pearl Harbor? Kat?
7:48 a.m.
7:48 a.m. Can you underline that, please?
Yes.
Make sure you only underline the time. That's all they asked you.
Oops.
Good job. Okay, now you're going to do another one all on your own. I'm not going to answer any questions.
Do we have to put a name on this?
You can